Hey guys, it's Kyle with White Collar Wisdom. Welcome to another Casual Friday. In today's episode, we're going to talk about complacency and how it is the absolute enemy of all your personal and professional goals. So without further ado, let's get started. So how is it that we fall victim to complacency? It's so easy for us to see others falling into it. How is it that we get sucked into this as well? Well, it's actually pretty easy. And there's a lot of ways that people fall victim to this, but the number one way is a lack of a challenge. So let's say your life is such that it costs you $50,000 a year to live, maintain your lifestyle, and enjoy life, right? Well, when you weren't making $50,000 and you were striving towards this was an easy thing to motivate you and keep you going, keep you pushing, right? So people will work and work and work and they achieve that, and they hadn't really thought about the secondary goals, right? But what was the next thing? Once I achieve these goals and I can do it regularly without much more effort, what's next? So when we don't challenge ourselves, when we have just one set of goals and we never think to, once we achieve them, to think about the next level, it's very easy to fall victim to complacency. Imagine if the lifestyle that you wanted really only cost you about $100,000 to live, and you worked and worked and worked, and you got to a point where you were making $200,000 a year. Well, it'd be very easy to maintain your lifestyle. You'd be putting very little effort into your daily activities. You'd be accomplishing them with ease, and it'd be tough to really incentivize you to push further. So unless you have other goals financially that would push you, that's going to be an easy way people fall into it, right? They start achieving what they need to live comfortably. Now that's with financial goals. So let's talk about how is it that people will fall victim to being complacent in their professional development. Well, you'll see this a lot of times when people have success within like one company. So for example, one of the things that I notice, I do the hiring decisions for the companies that I work for. And one of the things that I'll notice, and sometimes, and it's not a red flag, but it's something worth following up on, is when somebody has had a lot of success at one company and then bounced around after that. So let's say somebody has worked for a company for 6-7 years, maybe right out of school, or after a couple of, kind of low level or entry level jobs, and they got 3 promotions there, right? And then after that, it's 6 months at company B, 7 months at company C, a year and a month at company D. There's nothing really getting traction after that. What you want to follow up on and make sure it didn't happen is that when somebody grows either at an exponential rate within one company, or they have established themselves and become an expert in a company, they tend to say, well, I've learned everything, or I've achieved the level that I wanted to achieve. I have the knowledge, I have the skills, and so nothing more is needed for me to be successful or dominant. And so what happens is they decide that they're bored, same thing as before. There's no challenge, right? So they move on to, I'm going to go to another company. Well, they get there and they say, well, this is beneath me. I've already done X, Y, Z. I'm going to go somewhere else that challenges me. And they go to another place, and what do you know? They're not finding challenges at these places. Or, and this is the other bad thing that could have happened, or they feel like they've learned everything, that they know everything. I've been in the professional world for, I've been in sales and marketing for a better part of 20 years now. And I can tell you that I still learn things. And I know that, people that are well above me, levels and levels above me, are still learning things on a daily basis. As long as you understand that you can continue to learn, you'll understand that you don't know everything, okay? If you think you know everything, I can assure you, you don't know everything. So you can always learn more. But what happens is we figure we know everything. We've been in this company for 6 years. We know every single thing there is to know about it. Nothing could possibly change. I don't need to change my ways. I don't need to learn anything new. They get complacent, right? And they go other places hoping that there's going to be something interesting, or that someone's just going to throw money at them for being them. When in reality, as of right now, their best is behind them. The awards they've won are now getting quite dated. I used to drive, there's a nail salon by my house, and I'd drive by and I'd see it say voted best nails 2008. Well, it's not 2008, and it's not even close to 2008. And I think to myself, man, you couldn't even place like top 3 since then? I mean, what are you bragging about that for? It's like, well, we achieved it, we did it, we're done. We don't need to show that we're good anymore. We already showed that we could do it. Well, it's great that you could do it. People like that you could do it because it indicates that you could do it again. But you have to decide, am I done learning? Am I done becoming great? And that's the thing that happens too. So that's professional goals. And in your personal life, what happens is we get comfortable. We get comfortable with the people around us, and so we fall victim to complacency, right? If we are, and you see this a lot too with like people that are in and out of relationships a lot. Everybody's got a friend like that. So you see them, if they're hitting the gym every day, that this person is single. They're trying to look good, right? Every time they go out, they're dressing up, they're going out every Friday night, you know they're single because they're trying, right? They're trying to get that thing. And every single time they get into a relationship or they find somebody, then you see like, oh, you're staying home a lot. You're not coming out anymore. You're not hitting the gym, You see these things start happening. It's like this pattern, right? So they'll try as hard as they have to in their personal life just to keep people around them. So anyway, we're designed, you have to understand where we came from. You don't have to go back that many generations to where we were still running from bears and wolves. We're mammals, we're animals. Our brain tells us to conserve energy, right? Because we don't know when we're going to have to run away from something or fight it to save our lives. So, to understand how we fall victim to these things, it's no wonder, we're designed to conserve energy. So that's what happens, we're designed to sit still and something happens and we got energy to go do it. We conserve our energy for things that matter. So that's why we have to be challenged personally, professionally, and financially to achieve our goals. And that's why setting goals, like long-term goals, they should always be in that upward momentum direction. I believe in setting small goals for yourself to get you going. And I think that if you make small changes, it's good. But that's not the end. You don't make like a small change. I talk a lot about, how to establish better habits and stuff like that. I got a couple of videos. I'll link to them above here and I'll put them in the description below. But, achieving that small goal is to reinforce that you can achieve goals. After that, you need to keep setting higher goals. You need to keep pushing yourself further, right? And that's going to be the key to your success. If you can set yourself those challenges and you can push yourself, and most importantly, you can recognize when you're not pushing yourself, you're going to be successful more often than not, and you're not going to fall victim to that complacency. The last thing I'll tell you about complacency is this, okay? Try giving every piece of criticism to somebody else with an imaginary mirror in front of your face and seeing which part of it applies to you as well. It's very easy to say, oh, well, they had a good week last week. They sold a lot, so they're not trying this week. Well, are you doing the same thing? Are you falling victim to those same traps? Are you falling into that same complacency trap? And if you will be willing to say, how does this critique or criticism that I just gave about this person apply to me? You will find that there's going to be things in there that you don't like to hear. So always be willing to put a mirror in front of your face when you give criticism. But there's no surefire way to do it every single time. The best bet you can have, though, is to have a partner. Have somebody in your life that will challenge you. Have somebody, whether it be a colleague or somebody in your personal life, that challenges you and pushes you and won't let you settle for, the passing grade version of you. They want you to push yourself to be the A that you can be, Sometimes we view that as hassling, nagging, but at the end of the day, that pressure is just going to be, it could be viewed as annoying, or you could take it for what it is that's somebody pushing me to achieve more without any additional effort from me. So that's an asset to have around you. So if you got people nagging you, their heart's probably in the right place. And let's face it, if they didn't nag you, you probably wouldn't do as much as you could have anyway. So be in that, find competitive people like yourself, find people in your field that'll push you, find people that will take you to the next level, right? Because if you surround yourself by a bunch of people who like you as you are, and I don't mean like they like you for who you are, I mean they like you as you are, then you're probably never going to be more. So anyway, it's just something to think about. But complacency is always looking to take you down. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. They sink from that water that gets in them. And over time, if we don't maintain that ship, water will start seeping through the cracks and we will become complacent and we will not be as good as we once were. So keep your head up out there. Push yourself. Thanks again for watching White Collar Wisdom.